Exhibited on the show was a painting that has been in the guest's family for many years.
My brother's fiance went wandering around. She found it in the attic, brought it down and said, "This should not be in the attic." And it's probably been in the attic of our farm home since 1970s, maybe?
It was created in 1907 by one of America's finest artists, Elling William Gollings. Gollings was a seminal American Western artist whose first-hand experience as a cowboy lends authenticity to his celebrated paintings and etchings. He didn't just imagine the West, lived it, and this painting reflects that lived experience with conviction. As a young man, Gollings worked as a cowboy across South Dakota, Montana, and early 1900s Wyoming later, channeling those real-life adventures into his art.
Moved back and forth between the West and the Midwest. He went to Michigan, took some classes in Chicago, went back out to South Dakota, did a lot of wrangling with cows and horses and all that. So he became a real cowboy. Then went back to Chicago.
Okay.
And then settled in Sheridan, Wyoming, and became a painter of cowboys.
This particular painting depicts a classic Western scene, cowboys being chased by outlaws. It features vivid portrayals of motion-galloping horses, wind-blown fabric, and trailing dust brought to life through expressive gestural brushwork, especially in the skies and terrain. The medium is oil on canvas, and the piece could benefit from professional cleaning to restore its full vibrancy. Paintings by Gollings are highly collectible, and in its current condition, this work would fetch,
I would say at auction, you'd probably put a conservative estimate of $50,000 to $70,000 on it.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's fantastic. It's beautiful. And no, it doesn't belong in the attic.
Too small to hold gold, just right to hold attention, this miniature vault tells a bigger story. The item on display is a York salesman's sample safe, a miniature version of a full-sized vault. It was originally produced to showcase the security features and craftsmanship of York Safe and Lock Company products to potential buyers. On the surface of this sample safe, you can see all the company information, along with a patent date of the 31st of July, 1906. What makes this piece truly remarkable is that it's a fully functioning model, crafted with an exceptional level of detail. When the door is opened, it reveals an interior designed to replicate the appearance and mechanics of a full-size vault. Behind the door is a glass panel that exposes the mechanism, illustrating exactly how the locking system operates. The vault is constructed from manganese steel and includes fully functional components, all carefully scaled down from the original.
Manganese steel is a special kind of steel. It's less brittle than traditional steel. It's also non-magnetic. In fact, it was used during the war for soldiers' helmets, so it wouldn't interfere with compasses.
On the back, there's a decal indicating that the safe won the highest honors at the Panama Pacific International Exposition. While the painted surface shows some wear, it doesn't significantly affect the value of the piece. Displayed alongside the sample vault is a photograph of the guest's grandfather, who is the original owner of this piece, which he acquired while working at the York Safe and Lock Company. In an auction, this salesman's sample safe in its current condition would be worth
$30,000 to $50,000.
Oh my goodness. That's amazing.
Showcased on the show is a brooch that transforms into a pair of dress clips, inherited by the guest from his aunt.
It was given to my aunt from her second marriage. Met a man who was the heir to a Midwestern beer fortune, and this belonged to his mother.
Worn as one or two, these clips reflect a time when jewelry adapted to fashion without losing its sense of occasion.
And it was a new form of jewelry introduced in the 20s. And it was a reaction to changing dress styles for women. From these very buttoned-up, corseted Edwardian dresses to these free-flowing flapper dresses. And they needed a different type of jewelry to go with it. So they invented the dress clip.
This pair was designed to be worn individually or joined together on a frame to form a brooch. They are crafted in platinum and set with a mix of diamonds, including European cuts, baguette cuts, and single cuts. What's especially notable about these dress clips is the inclusion of several large stones weighing over 1 carat rarity in pieces of this type. Furthermore, the clips were made by the New York firm F. Walter Lawrence, circa 1930. F. Walter Lawrence was a notable American jeweler and silversmith. known for work that reflects the refined artistry of the arts and crafts era in the late 19th and early 20th centuries.
And F. Walter Lawrence first started with arts and crafts jewelry. And he was very interested in making jewelry that would function as sculpture to wear, that it would be art and it would be interesting. And you can see that carried forward in these dress clips.
The firm produced fine jewelry, silverware, and decorative bronzes until it closed in 1975. Accompanying these dress clips is the original presentation box and the original pin fitting, which allows the clips to be worn as a single plaque brooch. Given the high quality of the stones, the rarity of the design, and the presence of the original fittings and box, an appropriate insurance value would be...
So I would insure this at the $30,000 mark.
All right. Thank you so much. That's good to know. For years it's sat in the safe deposit box and we always wondered about it. We knew it was spectacular, but didn't know it was that spectacular.
At first glance, it's simply a doll, but its name and expression hint at something far more intentional. Today's guest presented a doll that originally belonged to her paternal grandmother, and she inherited it after her passing.
So you inherited it. Did any other family members were involved in that, or?
Well, none of them liked it.
And why is that?
They didn't like the face. Nobody else wanted it. And that was the only thing I really wanted out of her estate.
Oh, you're my girl.
The doll was made by the German company Simon & Halbig in the early 1900s. It bears mold number 152 and was created as an exhibit doll. Although not confirmed, it is believed to represent the historical figure Rosa Luxemburg. Luxemburg was a Polish-born naturalized German revolutionary and Marxist theorist. She played a pivotal role in the socialist movements of Poland and Germany in the early 20th century.
And Rosa, no, she was a human rights activist in Germany. She's very anti-war. She's all about the common man. She was in jail several times for her writings and even died for those beliefs.
What makes this doll especially unique is its rarity of all the known Rosa Luxemburg dolls. This is the only one with brown eyes. The doll features a highly expressive face and is constructed with a composition and wood-jointed body, glass eyes, and its original mohair wig. As is typical of Simon & Halbig dolls, it has pierced ears, though the earrings have been replaced. There is minor damage to the foot, but this does not significantly affect its overall value. A rare Simon & Halbig doll like this, even with light wear, would fetch an auction price of...
Her retail value will be somewhere between $22,000 and $26,000.
Wow. Thank you. I mean, that's amazing.
Presented on the show is a painting created by the street artist Sister Gertrude Morgan. Morgan was a self-taught African-American street preacher, musician, poet, and visionary artist who channeled her deep religious devotion into vibrant paintings and mixed media works. The guest who brought this piece onto the show purchased it in 1973 at a gallery in New Orleans.
I was there for a conference, and I was walking around the French Quarter, and there was a gallery that was showing her work.
And what was the name of the gallery you bought it from?
Borenstein Gallery.
Typical of Morgan's work, this particular painting explores a religious theme. It features Sister Gertrude herself holding the hand of a figure believed to be either Jesus or God. This is considered one of her most iconic themes, depicting herself in a white wedding dress as the bride of Christ, reflecting her belief that she had been chosen for divine union. We also see angels floating around a structure she referred to as the New Jerusalem. The medium is oil on paperboard, and the painting dates to around 1970. On the reverse side of the artwork, there is a handwritten price the guest originally paid, along with a black and white photograph of Sister Gertrude. Even after several decades, the painting has been remarkably well preserved, further enhancing its historical and market value. An authentic, well-preserved painting by Sister Gertrude Morgan like this would easily fetch an auction price of...
I really have no problem saying this is somewhere between $15,000 and $20,000.
Wow. Well, thank you. That is exciting and very interesting. Thank you.
We are presented with an item the guest acquired at a thrift store in Watertown, New York. This isn't just a design on paper, it's a spiritual offering, shaped by tradition and the careful hand of its maker. The piece is a Judaica papercut created in 1918 by Israel Manasevich. Manasevich was a Jewish folk artist renowned for his intricate Judaica papercut's traditional form of Jewish folk art that flourished in Eastern Europe and was brought to America by Jewish immigrants. This papercut was crafted in a tradition that blends intricate visual beauty with deep spiritual meaning. It was created from a single sheet of paper, carefully cut with scissors, and mounted on a gilded backing to enhance contrast. At the center of the piece is an American eagle with a shield, symbolizing American patriotism. At the top, the Hebrew word Mizrach appears, which translates to east.
This would be placed on the east wall. So you have these two sentiments, one of great reverence for one's religion and great reverence for one's country.
Adding to its intrigue and value is the presence of its original frame and backing, which features a dated newspaper.
The cool thing is you have Albany, New York, Friday, August 16, 1918. So the war wouldn't be over till November. You have the original newspaper, and it's been preserved underneath the backboard all this time. It's really like a time capsule, right?
There are very few of Manasevich's works on the market, making this piece exceptionally rare and valuable. At auction, this finely crafted Judaica papercut with its original frame and backing would fetch a price of...
I haven't been able to find this yet, but there might be other works that this paper cutter has done.
Oh, okay.
There are several very famous Hebrew paper cutters, and the works by them bring a lot of money. So I can put a retail price on this.
Okay.
What do you think I'm going to say? We want to guess?
200 or 2,000.
2,000. That's a good guess. Okay. Multiply by 10.
Do what?
20,000.
Okay.
Retail
Great.
price. And that wouldn't be hard to achieve. It really wouldn't.
Okay.
Not bad.
Sounds good.
On display is a World War II war bond poster that the guest purchased at an auction in Nebraska 5 years ago. This poster is a vivid example of American wartime advertising, where private companies like Kroger grocery stores partnered with the U.S. government to promote the sale of war bonds, financial instruments that funded the war effort while appealing to public patriotism. What makes this poster particularly special is that it wasn't printed by the U.S. government like most WWIU poster set was printed by Kroger Groceries in 1942. At the time, only 5 posters were designed by Kroger for display in their stores, and this piece is one of them.
And this is important because if the U.S. government was printing tens of thousands, Kroger didn't have nearly as big a reach as the government, so they didn't print nearly as many.
The subject features 2 school children wearing gas masks, one holding an apple and the other a book.
Now keep in mind, in the Second World War in England, there was a constant fear of gas attack from the Germans. And children would walk to school with gas masks in their pocket. They'd have gas masks in their desks. There were gas masks for infants. In America, it never quite came to that because we were never invaded or bombed by Germany. This poster plays to that fear, this sort of primal parental fear that something bad could happen.
The facial expressions and fine details are rendered with striking precision. Across the top of the poster is the heartfelt message, "Dear God, keep them safe," underscoring themes of civic duty, shared sacrifice, and the home front's essential role in the war effort. Uniquely, the poster blends Kroger's corporate branding with the U.S. Treasury's war bond campaign. It was clearly designed to appeal to families, especially women managing household budgets during wartime. Given the rarity of this piece and its strong historical ties to WWIU, it would command an auction price of...
Currently, the auction value for something like this is $15,000 to $20,000.
Really? That's great. That's unbelievable.
It doesn't shout for attention, but its form, balance, and quiet elegance are unmistakably intentional. This is a Georg Jensen gold necklace that the guest inherited from her grandmother.
And then she was a woman ahead of her time. She went to college in Chicago and then worked at Northwestern University. Then she got married and moved to New Rochelle, New York. So she must have gotten the necklace either in New York or Chicago.
Jensen was a pioneering Danish silversmith and designer, renowned for blending fine craftsmanship with modern design. He founded Georg Jensen A.S. in 1904, establishing a legacy that continues to shape the world of luxury design.
He's really well known for his early career in silver design. He started in Copenhagen, and his original motifs were basically very natural.
This necklace was made in the mid-20th century, circa 1950, 1960, and it bears the signature of the Georg Jensen Company on the reverse. Alongside the signature is the model number 7104 and the stamp 750, indicating the piece is crafted from 18-karat gold. The design reflects the mid-century Danish modernist aesthetic clean lines, organic forms, and timeless minimalism. The craftsmanship is exceptional, with smooth articulation, no visible solder marks, and a soft, rich gold patina. Gold Jensen pieces from the mid-20th century are considerably rarer than their silver counterparts. A rare, high-quality necklace like this by Jensen is highly collectible, and it is estimated to be worth...
I think in a retail situation, a necklace like this would be $15,000.
Whoa. Thank you, grandmother. And if I wanted to insure it, how much would you recommend?
I would suggest somewhere in that range.
Okay.
Set on the display table is a 1,964 Rolex watch that the guest acquired from her ex-boyfriend.
Okay. So after he got out of jail, he came back to my house, well, my parents' house, to get his stuff, and I wasn't home. So my mom let him into my bedroom to get his stuff, but he forgot about the watch. So this last winter, when I was cleaning out some stuff, I found it in the back of my actual sock drawer. Yes, I know. 50 years. It's been there at least 50 years, over 50 years.
The watch is a reference 1016 Rolex Explorer of the most iconic vintage sports watches ever produced. It is celebrated for its timeless design, rugged reliability, and strong ties to Rolex's mountaineering heritage. Introduced in 1960 and produced until 1989, the 1016 is especially sought after by collectors today for its classic proportions and connection to the golden era of tool watches. This example features a tropical brown dial with luminous radium hour markers. The dial was originally matte black but has faded over time, highly desirable trait among collectors.
The radium that's in the hands, the radium that's in the number, to give it the glow in the dark effect, sometimes it gives off that radiation, it burns it.
The appraiser noted that the bracelet is not original and has been replaced. It would have originally come with a riveted oyster bracelet, reference 7206, typically with 58 end links. Like most Rolex Explorers of this reference, the watch is fitted with a domed acrylic crystal. Interestingly, the watch is still in working condition, with all hour markers and functions performing properly. Rolex watches are highly sought after by collectors, and this Explorer with its tropical dial would command an auction price of...
This watch right now, retail, it'll bring $10,000.
What, seriously? All right. A redeeming factor for him.
What do you think of that?
I think it's awesome.